What are the odds is that's the same one at the other lake? Because it had the exact same thing on its head last time. I read something kind of funny today. Remember all that news recently about the FAA warning people don't even think about attaching things to your drones in terms of weapons, otherwise you could be fined and so forth? How about if you intend to use it as your own means of transportation for things like fishing and stuff like that? Well, this one says, video of man fishing while dangling from drone under investigation by CASA. The Civil Aviation Safety Authority is investigating footage posted on social media of a man fishing from a chair that's being lifted from a homemade drone. And from what I gather, it seems like people were doing this for a skit, so to speak, I guess you could say, because you can see there's this little, I guess, sign there telling you the things that you can't do around the fishing area, and they put their own sign there saying something like it's okay to drone and fish. And they basically took their own custom-made drone, attached it, I guess, to a chair. It's pretty huge, and they lifted the guy up. And as you can see, they basically went fishing, and it looked like, according to the video, they actually caught a fish. And I suppose based on Australian laws for the drones, it could be illegal, so it's being investigated. It says, taken at Upper Columban Reservoir in central Victoria, the man with beer at hand is carried for several meters above the water, catches a fish, and eventually returns ashore. CASA spokesman Peter Gibson said there were serious safety risks involved with what appeared in the footage. And then it says, quote, this is a first for Australia to have a large homemade drone being used to lift someone off the ground, he said. It's not really a sensible thing to do in any way, shape, or form. There's lots of things that could have gone wrong. Someone could have been seriously injured. I would imagine since the drone was carrying someone, plus it's so humongous, it probably violated things like, I guess, the weight threshold in terms of what you could fly legally. You can also see there's a bunch of people in the background, but for the most part, they seem like they're bystanders and they're kind of, I guess, intrigued by it. Didn't seem like, to me anyways, anyone was in danger. The first thing that came to my mind actually when I saw this was that other video from Casey Neistat. He had something like that where he had a drone basically lift him up. And funny enough, at the end of the video, it basically says that's what the inspiration was. It was that video in particular. But I guess like everything, every country has their own regulations and so forth in terms of what you could use like a drone for and such, correct? Although it was technically that drone operation that Casey Neistat did illegal in the US as well. It's kind of tricky in those cases. I still remember one of those videos where it seemed like all of a sudden he started to say things like, because of the FAA, etc., you need to be safe. To me, this is one of those topics where, okay, it might be, quote, illegal, but I would wonder, is it truly that dangerous in that aspect in terms of what they did in general? I mean, it's kind of like the debate in general, like before when here they had regulations like stay away from all animals and so forth because it's so dangerous. You had everyone coming up kind of like sheep. Even if there's nothing wrong with it, just, hey, that's what's written. And then eventually when they took it out, in my opinion, it's a lot better. So in this case, you have to wonder, are these do-it-yourself types of drones actually good or bad? Are they dangerous? Because in some ways, I think you need that kind of innovation. Like people should be able to do that, like say in their backyard, for example, to do stuff like this. But what would other people think about this? Overall, I guess you could kind of argue they did it in a public space and all that. Whereas, again, with my thought, if someone did something like this in their backyard, should that be okay? Because technically, with the way things are written, like say here, that would actually be illegal. Not sure what those were that the guy threw to them. Cracker or something. Alright, see you guys later.